Hello, welcome to this class where we are looking at symbology. And the goal of this class is to be able to create any symbology you want for any vector layer. The symbology is basically visual appearance of the data. By visual appearance, I'll switch over to the QGIS. This is what I mean by visual appearance. These green points that you are seeing, that is symbology. How they look. It's basically symbology. And what makes that very, very powerful is because you can change them to different types depending on the data that you are working with. And this is the strength of GIS over other representing softwares, over other softwares that represent data. The strength of GIS is that you can visualize this with anything that you need, even photos. You can do that depending on what you're trying to communicate. The options are limitless. Therefore, the visual appearance of the map, which depends on the symbology of the individual layers, is very important. The end user of the maps you produce will need to be able to see clearly what the map represents. By individual layers, this is what we mean. These layers here, these are individual layers. As you can see, they've got different colors, so you can present them differently individually. And this is very, very powerful and handy when it comes to symbology. Equally as important, you also need to be able to explore the data as you are working with it with good symbology so that you don't get confused, because you can have a lot of data. As you can see, we have to count this 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It can get crazy with more than 20 data sets from different sources that you are working with. So good symbology will help you not to confuse yourself as you are working on the data. In other words, having proper symbology it's not a luxury or just something nice that you want to have. It's very essential to the production of maps, and also while you're working on the data, so that you are very much accurate. Because remember that the data you are visualizing and working on will influence your own decisions and also the decisions of your superiors, whose decision making is dependent on that data. So you need to ensure that you have good symbology and representation. Like they say, a picture speaks 1,000 words. As you can see, just a picture will give you 1,000 words of whatever meaning that you're trying to extract. So what you're going to cover in this lecture, it's going to be lengthy and it will have different number of lectures separated. The first one will be changing colors, how we can change the colors on, as you can see, on any of those data sets. That is what we will start with. Then after that, we will look at changing symbology structure. Basically, changing symbology structure, we are looking at how these points could be points, it could be polygons, it could be lines, how they are represented. That's just basically what we are looking at when it comes to changing symbology. The other one we'll look at is scale-based visibility, which is basically at different zoom scales, you get to have certain layers visible and others not visible. The other thing is adding symbol layers. That is what we look at. Ordering symbol levels, symbol layer types, geometry generator, symbology. So all these will have their independent lectures. If you know some of them, feel free to skip to the lectures which you don't need. See you in the classes.